Pull up the chairs, cause the table is a set. Will this action figure hold up to Interrogation? Find out in this week's review of McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse, the Dark Knight Gold label, the Joker Interrogation Room. You know, not much is known about the Joker. You can't even really trust his own origin because he himself is an unreliable narrator.
You stay classy, San Diego. I'm Ron Burgundy?
Joker's expertise in various guns, knives, and torture protocols makes you wonder if he was a war vet.
You're all stupid. See, they're gonna be looking for army guys.
Admittedly, not a schemer, despite his elaborate heist and escape plans. You know, for an agent of chaos, Joker is incredibly punctual.
Accessories! Does this purse go with my bra, bruh?
Joker comes with a set of dirtied up open hands. The three fingers are stuck in a fixed position while the pinky is free to wiggle.
Are you pondering what I'm pondering?
I think so, Brain, but then my name would be Thummy.
We also get a set of gripping hands for the phone, some la 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 I can't hear you expressive pointer hands, and a set of fists for, I'm not sure. I don't recall Joker punching anyone.
Check out what came for you in the mail.
Oh yeah! What is it?
Lacking any paint of any kind, the burner phone looks burnt, the thickness looking more like a phone from the 80s than the 2000s.
It's ringing! Ready with the buckets!
When it comes to scaling, the handcuffs are the biggest offenders, looking like it was fitted for a Kryptonian more than a clown. I don't often talk about the box the figure comes in because it's just garbage in the way of my figure. It's more packaging than an accessory, but the Interrogation cardboard background will be recycled once this review is done. It's not a bad print, it's just too shiny under those studio lights, causing unwanted reflections.
It's like looking in a mirror, only not.
At some point, I do plan on carving out a diorama similar to the background I have in the lineup segment. You know, once I figure out how to install a tiny two-way mirror. And since it is an interrogation room, not a lot of knickknacks are needed to populate this scene. So the most difficult thing to recreate the set would be the tables and chairs. Thankfully, they're included here. The stiff metal table is in fact plastic. It doesn't come fully assembled, but once you put the two halves together, there's no separating them.
Did you stitch your initials into me? That's not important.
A pain for anyone looking to break down the table for easier storage. And in an attempt to do that, a painful blow was felt when one of the legs broke. Doctors say it was a clean break, but will need some gluing. You know, telling an actor to break a leg before a performance is encouraging. Breaking a leg on a main piece of furniture in a display piece is just frustrating. And despite being a hero in many instances in my life, super glue could have worked for fixing the leg on the table, but I opted to use crazy glue, and after it dried, it held up pretty well. The matching chairs scale pretty well with other DC Collectible movie figures in the collection. In fact, this will be the chair I use in Go Sit Yourself for this line going forward. In the movie, you never get a view of the chairs from the back, so I can't tell if that's how they're supposed to look or if that's how they're designed, but the metallic hard plastic looks better from the front than the back. But how does the chair scale with other toy lines? Well, McFarlane Toys' Stranger Things Chief Hopper sits naturally, as well as NECA's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder. 1/12 figures like Mafek's Joker, Star Wars Black Series Luke Skywalker, and slightly larger than 1/12 figures like Marvel Legends Tracksuit Mafia, legs dangle off the chair.
You want a juice box and some string cheese?
Do you really have that?
But if you're a standing only kind of person, we also get a stand that pegs into the bottom of either feet. And lastly, it's not the Joker card we wanted, but it's the one Todd thinks we deserve.
Krusty poses for trading card photo. He seems to be running a little low on ideas.
Articulation, bruh.
Joker's head's on a double ball joint, allowing him to look a little bit down, a pretty good amount up, some left to right, and a good amount of tilt. Not a lot of crunch with that ball joint at the waist. More back. There is some rotation and a okay amount of tilt. Arms rotate all the way around. There is a shift up and down for some adjustment poses. There's a bicep swivel, a pinned double jointed elbow, arms ball and hinge all the way up. Hands do rotate, and depending on where that joint is, you can either shift it forward and back, or rotate it and hinge it up and down. Legs kick up a good amount for a Joker, out a good amount. There is an upper thigh swivel that does work when kicked out, but not when it's down. There's a double jointed knee that is pinned. There's no boot, but there is a shoe swivel. There's a toe hinge, feet hinge down, a laughable amount up, and rocks like a man with two wives.
No, you're thinking of someone with two knives.
I gotta tell you, this is pretty terrific. Yeah.
Go sit yourself.
Whether he's in a cell or a holding room, Joker can go sit himself.
Alright, let's begin with Batman Begins Batman. And not to be outdone, here's Batman 89 Batman. And wrapping the Mafex EMP gun, here's the unmasked Dark Knight Batman. And while it might not be a color associated with the character, it does suit him. Here's Lex Luthor. And sometimes you just need a better caliber of criminal. Here's NECA's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder. And lastly, it could be Kryptonite, it could be Mutagen. Trying to make a buck, here's Back to the Future's Biff. And just giving you a comparison between the tables and chairs in my collection, here's the Toy Biz Jonah Jameson at his desk, and the Mattel WWE China at a breakable table.
Think unsexy thoughts. Think unsexy thoughts.
I am very much a child that was raised by television. I grew up watching shows where the villains always got away at the end of every episode. So for Joker to end up getting caught in the Dark Knight was kind of a thrill. And equally thrilling is now having not only an action figure, but also a partial set to recreate that interrogation scene.
Easy, come on now, what you doing? Take it easy, you okay? What the hell is wrong with you?
In the box, Joker is already sitting down, but you'd be surprised how difficult it is to get his legs to cooperate when putting him back in the chair. The bulky diaper forces Joker to keep his legs open and is bound to wear on the plastic over time. Joker has great or terrible posture depending on your point of view. I'll tell you this, he's completely upright when sitting, with no option to crunch forwards, so there's zero chance of Batman introducing his face to the table.
Ow! Who punches a hand?
And while we're talking about his face, the face paint is entirely too clean. Unless you're counting the smudges around the orbital, that looks like it's drawn on by a pencil.
I'm gonna make this pencil disappear.
I know it was meant to look like Heath Ledger applied the makeup himself, but this is heavy-handed. I'm not going to start doing any makeup tutorials anytime soon, but hell, even I know less is more. It looks less like someone who applies their own war paint and more like Drew Carey's secretary.
Well, you gotta get up pretty early in the morning to put on all that makeup and get here by 9.
The texture on the collared shirt and pants is a good contrast to the smooth but shiny overlays of the vest, even though the back should be blue, not green. The diaper is bulky, but not completely out of place, although I will say, all those outfit changes kinda make sense now.
Holy...
It's not so bad. Smells like discipline.
The pocket chain is hidden nicely under the vest, but scales on the larger side, closer to the size of a necklace than a pocket watch. Not to make any excuses for McFarlane Toys, but I'm kinda glad that the chain came loose, because otherwise I would have never have thought to replace it.
What you doing, sucker?
I stumbled across a chain on my wife's makeup that matches the scale and lays more naturally. I just need to use some pliers to shorten the chain and glue it in place. But as always, mod at your own risk. Coming from the world of Marvel Legends, I often take the figures out of the box and feel comfortable enough to pose them up. Unfortunately, I can't say the same about DC Collectibles. I suggest hitting any stiff joints with a bit of heat before posing to avoid a break. The accessories not being to scale with the figure has become a common occurrence in the line. The handcuffs and the phone need paint to bring out the sculpted details and are about 20% bigger than they need to be.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
All those costume changes, Joker must have been a theater kid. Luckily, that does give us an opportunity to get a deluxe Joker. Throw in a bunch of faceplates like we've been receiving with the Superman movie figures, and you won't have to steal my money in an elaborate heist. You can have it.
Shut up and take my money!
So, to sum up my thoughts with more thoughts, you're not going to be able to position Joker in every pose from the interrogation scene, but you can do most, and that's good enough for me. Make sure to like and subscribe, ding, and turn on notifications to stay up to date with your bra. And remember, collect responsibly. Why am I pointing? I don't know.